Once upon a time, in the faraway kingdom of Eloria, there lived a young princess named Elara. She had everything a heart could wish for: a castle of silver towers, a garden that bloomed in all seasons, and servants who obeyed her every word. Yet her heart was never still. Every night, when the stars sang softly over the palace, she would sit by her window and whisper, "Why does my heart feel like a storm when the world around me is so calm?" Her mind was always busy, remembering things she couldn't change, worrying about things that hadn't happened. Even the lullabies of the night couldn't quiet the noise inside her head. One day, a traveler arrived at the castle gates, an old wanderer with a cloak the color of rain. He bowed deeply and said, "Your Highness, I bring you a story about a place where the wind itself teaches peace." Intrigued, Elara asked, "Where is this place?" The man smiled. "Far beyond the whispering hills, where no crown weighs on your head and no clock reminds you of tomorrow." Without telling anyone, Elara put on a simple cloak and set out alone. The path was long, through thorny woods and silent meadows. The only sound was the whisper of the wind, calling her name. After 7 days, she reached a strange valley. At the center stood a tree made of glass, shining under the moonlight. Beneath it sat an old woman spinning threads of air on a silver wheel. "Welcome, child," said the old woman. "What brings a princess so far from her dreams?" Elara bowed her head. "I want peace, Mother Wind. My thoughts never rest. My heart feels heavy even when everything is beautiful." The old woman smiled. "Then I shall give you a task." She handed Elara a small feather, light as breath, and said, "Take this feather and walk from this tree to the far edge of the valley. But remember, the feather must never touch the ground." Elara looked at the feather. "That seems easy," she said. But as she began to walk, the valley changed. The wind grew wild, flowers whispered secrets, and old memories rose like ghosts. Her father's anger, her mother's tears, her own fears. Every time she looked away, the feather trembled. Every time she thought of yesterday or tomorrow, the feather dipped. Hours passed. Her arms ached, her feet bled, and tears blurred her sight. But she held the feather close and whispered, "Stay with me, just this moment." When she finally returned to the glass tree, the old woman was gone. In her place stood the traveler who had come to the castle, only now he looked different. His cloak shimmered with light, and his eyes were like the morning sky. "Who are you really?" Elara asked. The man smiled gently. "I am the wind you were chasing, the one you thought lived far away. But I was inside your breath all along. When you watched the feather, your heart forgot the noise. That is peace, not something to find, but something to remember." Elara looked at the feather in her hand. It began to glow, and slowly, it turned into light, sinking into her chest. From that day, the princess returned to her kingdom, not as the restless girl who left, but as a queen whose smile could calm storms. And whenever the wind blew through the palace windows, she would whisper softly, "I hear you now.